On the outside, I looked like I had it all together, but on the inside, I was busy creating great results, leading teams, solving problems, staying on top of it all, just saying yes to everyone, doing everything right. But I was heading straight for burnout, and I didn't even see it. My to-do lists were endless, my calendar was just packed, and somewhere along the way, I started putting myself last. Work was eating into my rest. I was skipping workouts, grabbing a quick meal, sleeping less, spending less time with the people that I love. And all the things that I said matter to me, like my health, my relationships, the fun stuff that I wanted to experience in life, just kept getting pushed to the bottom of the list. And if that's where you're at right now, this video is for you. Because I don't think you're neglecting those things because you don't care. I think it's because you don't believe that you have a choice, that you think you have to choose between doing a great job and living a calm and energized life, between creating results and actually feeling good. So we're going to talk about the antidote to all of that in this video, and it's surprisingly simple. It's called doing less, but better. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. How can doing less help me accomplish more? I get it. That's exactly what I used to think too. For years, I believed that being busy was the same as being productive. And I really started seeing the cost of that belief during my second leadership role. So I was a regional manager responsible for the results of 15 teams across 15 different centers. And naturally, a lot of people needed things from me. Can you come hold a seminar? Can you help us hire someone? Can you talk to this employee who's been struggling for a while? Can you be in this meeting? And I said yes, all the time. I traveled around a lot. My days were packed with back-to-back meetings. I stayed available online 24/7 in case someone needed something from me. And I genuinely enjoyed it. I loved being helpful, being there for people, and solving problems. And if I'm being really honest, I took pride in being able to do so many things and that I felt needed. So being busy all day kind of made me feel more important. It gave me a sense of significance. So at first, I didn't think I needed to change anything. But over time, I started to notice something. I was neglecting the things that really mattered to me. I was skipping workouts. I was eating whatever I could grab between meetings, and often not the healthiest options. I've started to miss moments with people that I really cared about. And whenever I had a free moment, if it was blank in my calendar, I just say yes to the next request. So I really struggled to say no, and my days ended up getting longer. And even after work, I couldn't turn off. I didn't feel stressed exactly, but I was kind of wired. So I'd watch TV and try to wind down so I could sleep. But then my sleep quality got worse and my energy kept declining. And I got more and more dependent on caffeine to get me through the next day. I kind of felt wired and tired at the same time. And I remember thinking, I don't want to live like this. This isn't the way that I want my life to feel, that I want to feel. I missed feeling clear and energized and calm inside. And I missed spending time on the parts of my life that mattered the most to me, not just work. So I made a decision. I wanted to feel better, but without sacrificing results at work. And I figured there had to be a way to do both. Turns out there was. I started doing less, but the things that I chose to do had way more impact. I stopped scheduling back-to-back meetings. I scheduled thinking time to think and reflect and to choose what tasks would have the greatest impact towards my goals and what busy work I could eliminate or delegate. I scheduled blocks of time for deep work so that no one could disturb me through those times. I prioritized workouts again, and I took time for healthy meals. And I even set a cutoff time each evening where I'd stop checking emails, messages, or notifications. And because of these changes, I showed up differently. I was more present, I had stronger ideas, I asked better questions, which led to more meaningful and impactful conversations. and results got even better. And I felt better doing it as well. But here's the thing, none of that would have changed if I didn't believe I had a choice. And I hear this from clients all the time, but I don't have a choice. I have to do it. And I believe that too, but it's just not true. You may not like your options, but you always have a choice. And when we forget that, we slip into what psychologists call learned helplessness. It's the belief that nothing I do will make a difference, or if I stop, everything will fall apart. If I say no to people, they'll think less of me. But most of the time, those are just stories, just false beliefs that are quietly running the show. Essentialism helps you start to question those beliefs. It reminds you that you're not stuck, you're choosing. And when you start choosing differently, everything starts to change. So the first lesson that I learned from Essentialism was you always have a choice. You just have to start to notice what you're actually choosing. When you're always on, you don't realize how much of your life is on autopilot. I used to tell myself everything matters equally, but the truth I learned the hard way is most of it doesn't. When you take a step back and ask yourself, what do I actually want to create right now? You realize that most of what you're doing isn't moving the needle. Essentialism teaches us to stop trying to do more and instead put your energy into doing the things that truly matter. So ask yourself, what are the vital few things that will make the biggest impact? And then protect your time and energy to do those few most important things really well. In a world that's constantly trying to distract you, this takes practice because a lot of things that feel urgent are unimportant. And a lot of the things that are truly important don't feel urgent. But those are the things that shape your future. So here's the lesson. Almost everything is non-essential. Your job is to focus on the few things that are truly essential. This is true to work, it's true in your relationships, and it's definitely true in your life. Because when everything is important, nothing is important. And the things that actually matter to you end up being the very things that you neglect. When I was stuck in the hamster wheel, I truly believed that I could juggle everything. So I just kept adding more and more stuff. But you can't do everything and you can't be everything to everyone. Trying to act like you can is the exact thing that keeps you stuck in a life that slowly starts to feel less and less like the life that you want. At least that's how it felt for me. And the reason is I wasn't aware of a simple truth that changed everything. There's always a trade-off, and you have to choose what trade-offs you're willing to make. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. When you say yes to working late, you're saying no to having the energy you want tomorrow. When you're saying yes to back-to-back meetings all day, you say no to being fully present and focused in all of those meetings. When you say yes to skipping workouts because you don't have time, you're saying no to health and energy and feeling good. When you say yes to working into the evening, you're saying no to quality time with people that you love. All of these are trade-offs. And when you recognize that these are trade-offs, you can start choosing differently. So here's the heart of Essentialism. Do less, but better. Not everything matters equally, and you always have a choice. And once you really believe that, you start to live differently. When you focus on the right things and stop trying to do it all, you actually become more productive. And you get time back, and you create better results with way less stress. But understanding the mindset is only the beginning. Now you have to decide what's actually essential in your life. Because if everything's important, nothing is. And you don't want to wake up one day in the future regretting that you didn't make space for the things that truly matter most to you. I'd love to hear your comments. What's one trade-off that you're no longer willing to make? Comment below.